evening. This meeting of the Board of Water Commissioners is called to order on March 19th, 2024 at 6:01 PM. This meeting is being held in person and/or remotely as an alternate means of public access pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023 and all other applicable laws temporarily amending certain provisions of the open meeting law. You are hereby advised that this meeting and all communications during this meeting may be recorded by the Town of Hingham in accordance with the open meeting law. If any participant wishes to record this meeting, please notify the chair at the start of the meeting in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20F, so that the chair may inform all other participants of said recording. Is anyone else recording the meeting? Russ, can you hear us okay? It sounds a little weird in here.
I can hear you fine, absolutely fine.
What's going on?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's quite staticky.
Hold on. Any better? No?
I don't think so, because we heard it even before you
Yeah,
speak.
I don't sound right either.
Yeah.
He could
there
call,
some
he can call
feedback?
in,
In your ears,
If it's that.
if it's,
So it's on his end.
yeah.
Okay,
you can hear that clearly.
I can hear that clearly, yeah.
okay. Can you,
Russ, would you mind trying to call in?
I don't mind, whatever you guys want me to do.
It sounds
Hold on.
better now.
Not through the speaker.
I think it's a speaker issue.
yeah,
On
it
our
sounds
end.
like a speaker in the room.
Should be, I just turned it down.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
Okay,
better?
that's better, thank you. Okay, first on the agenda is approval of minutes. I believe we have one set in front of us.
I'd make a motion to approve the minutes dated February 7th, 2024.
Second.
Roll call vote, Joe?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Excellent, thank you. Next on the agenda is to consider approval of the agreement with Environmental Partners Group LLC to provide engineering services associated with the lead service line inventory program for the Weir River water system. We have Water Superintendent Russ Tierney and Kathy Riley here.
Sorry I couldn't be there in person tonight, guys. Had a couple things going on. Just want to go through this with you guys on what this is. So as part of the new lead and copper.
One second, Russ, sorry.
Yep.
Can you turn the speaker up just a little bit, Sebastian?
Is that better?
Okay, Russ, go ahead.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's better, thank you.
Okay, no problem at all. So as part of the revised lead and copper rule set out by the EPA, and then this is under the DEP to make sure that everyone gets it done in the state, they require that all public water supply systems complete a full lead service line inventory. It includes identifying potential lead service lines. It includes a plan to eliminate those lead service lines. It includes putting these service lines on our GIS system. It includes a lot of things that are definitely outside the scope of what we can do internally. I've talked to a bunch of systems the same size as ours and even larger, and they all subbed it out to engineering firms like we want to do now. The smaller systems can get it done on their own, but anything over 5,000 services is a lot of work to get it done and get it done properly. We will oversee it, obviously, with DP doing the work. However, as part of a program with the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection, it's offering full grants for this program. We've completed the entire necessary application forms. The application's sitting and waiting for this final attachment, which we're going to discuss tonight. It includes an executive agreement with a qualified engineering firm, which EP is qualified by Mass DEP. I did speak to two other firms that I'm familiar with, and their price was the same or a little bit more. So with EP knowing exactly what we have in our system, they have our GIS system. We wouldn't have to have our GIS system given to someone else and used by someone else, which would also cost us more money because they have to come to speed with it and all that. But it is a fully funded reimbursable grant, which means that if we get the grant, which we're very confident we're going to get it, we pay for it and then we send in vouchers to get reimbursed for the money. However, if we do not get it, we do have the money in the capital money. As usual, we'll just put something else aside that we're going to do in the next 2 years to get this done, because if we don't get it done by the deadline, we wind up with an NON, and then it can go to more enforcement. So we definitely have to have the first part of this done by the deadline. So the proposal is provided as time and materials not to exceed $475,036. Like I said, EP is the most, they're familiar with our system and already has a copy of our GIS system and our records. And I've already started giving them records while we work out the details and get this approved. So that's basically what it is. It's mandated by the EPA. It's enforced by the Mass DEP. And every water system over 10,000 has to 3,300 has to get this done by October.
Okay, thank you. So when would they start, Russ?
To be honest with you, they want to start. They've already started. They haven't billed us yet because I'm collecting some data for them. But they want to start as soon as we can get it approved. Then they'll start.
Okay, and do you have any idea what the refund schedule would be if we do get the grant?
Yeah, it's as you spend money. Every bill we get, we just submit. So it comes back. I don't know how long it takes. I can find out though. But I think as long as we get it back, we have enough money in the capital budget to pay this out and just get it back as fast as the state can get it back to us.
Okay.
But the details of the payback come with the approval. So it's not. It's an odd one because you can't get the approval till you have a contract.
Yes.
But yeah, it's the way they did it. But again, if we can get the grant for at least 99% of it, it's good. You know what I mean?
Okay, and does this just, doing this study, does it disrupt service?
No, nope, it does nothing. No one, it's not in the background. No one's even going to know what's happening. But what it does is it's like a capital plan for lead. We do not have a lot of lead in the system. I know that for a fact as I browse through all these services we have and everything like that. We do have some lead goosenecks, but they're not really included in this plan. But I've asked EP to include them in the plan because we have a list. So they're going to actually include them in this plan, even though it's not necessary and not required. Because if they're going to be in there doing the work, I might as well have them throw the goosenecks on there because those are coming in 2025. So we'll be ahead of the game on that part of it.
Okay, great, thank you. Joe, do you have any questions?
Yeah, Russ, thank you for this. Is there any sort of pre-approval process that we can go through with Mass DEP? So in other words, like, for example, a form of agreement that if we follow their form, then it's more likely that we'll get the grant approved?
Not a pre-approval, Joe, because again, they always say that, they want these contracts in place so they know you're going to do it because the money they're giving out is also federal money, I think.
Yep.
Without having a contract in place. But Lauren and EP are very confident we'll get the grant. But again, if they decide not to give it to us, we
Right.
do have the capital. So it's not anything that's going to hurt the water system at all.
And do we know if Environmental Partners is working with other towns that have gotten the grant?
They have two other towns they're working with. One did get the grant, one didn't go for the grant because they were really small, and they just paid for it out of pocket.
Yeah.
It wasn't as much as ours because there's only a couple thousand services. So it wasn't
But
big.
the one town that was eligible, they did get the grant
Yes.
using Environmental
Yes.
Partners.
Yep, and
Great.
then two other companies that I talked with that I'm very familiar with, they got grants also for a couple of larger systems like those.
Great, okay, no other questions, thank you.
Bill?
I have no question. I reviewed the proposal, and hopefully we'll get that grant. Thank you, Russ.
No problem.
Excellent. I'm ready to take a motion, if you're
Any
comfortable.
members of
Oh, sorry. Any members of the public wish to ask a question or make a comment? Okay,
Hearing none, I make a motion to authorize the town administrator to sign the agreement with Environmental Partners Group LLC to provide engineering services associated with the lead service line inventory program for the Ware River water system in an amount not to exceed $475,036.
Second.
roll call vote. Joe?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Excellent. Thank you so much, Russ. Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome, guys. No problem.
Next is the water superintendent update. I know you've been at one of our meetings recently, but is there anything you wanted to report tonight?
Yeah, just let everyone know that I'm working The other two filters have been fully rehabbed, brand new under drains. This one will be done by April 14th, in that, like we wanted it done. So everything will be done and up and running for the summertime. So we're very happy with the way that changed direction. It was going a little bit longer than we thought, but they turned it around with the next filter, so we should be fine and get the third one done. So we should be good to go.
Excellent, great news, thank you.
No problems.
Joe, any questions?
No questions.
Bill?
I do have one question, and it's kind of to you and Tom. But, you know, I know this year we've committed to really looking at the governance structure of the water company. And I've got a couple questions about where we are with that. So I know I don't want you to go into too much detail, but I think it would fall under a superintendent's report. So
It does.
where
I,
are we with that, and how's it going?
I have a call into the A&E committee right now. They were going to set up a meeting for April. So they wanted to make sure that they were going to set it up before, but we were working on the tank and everything else and working on budgets and working on town meeting stuff. So I asked them to put it off just till the month of April. So I will get back on them this week because they were going to do it sometime in April to start discussing that internally right away.
Great, thank you. Thanks, Russ, appreciate it.
No problem.
Excellent. Thank you, Russ. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
all your hard work and everything you're doing. We appreciate it.
No problem at all.
Next is public comment. Are there any members of the public that would like to make a comment? Okay, seeing none. Take a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Second,
Roll call vote. Joe?
Aye.
Bill?
aye.
And I'm an aye as well. We are adjourned at 6:13 PM. Thanks, Russ.
Thanks, guys.